everybody, it's Lisa here from the Shady Tree Stitches. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. We're just getting out of winter and heading into spring down here in Australia. So I took the opportunity while my husband took my kids out of the house to film in the family room, which has much better light. I've been here not long ago, but I like this one much better. Besides, my dining hutch is much more attractive than a blank wall. I really cannot wait to get into my new house. It's still going to be another 8 months away, and then I can finally put some of my beautiful cross stitches up on the walls. Renting is the absolute pit. Can't do anything. Anyway, not here to talk about me. I'd like to say thank you for rejoining me, for all the people who come back and watch episode after episodes. Hope you really enjoyed the last two special editions from the Shady Tree Stitches Retreat. We're planning to do them twice a year, and if anyone actually lives remotely near us and is interested in coming along, feel free to contact me. It's pretty low key, but we do have room for probably 1 or 2 more people if they wanted to participate. Okay, what have I been up to this week? Well, I have had another hectic week at school. It's HSC season, and being a music teacher means that my HSC season is crazy at the moment. Got my kids' exams this week, so madly getting them ready for that. But they're already as good as they can be, so I'm not worried about them. Just means time's a bit limited for stitching. But I still managed, I added it up again, I still managed to do 3,833 stitches this week, which is really good. Part of that was because I am really a stickler for doing my homework and doing challenges. I rarely let one go by without me completing it. I let lots of challenges go by without starting them, but my main few, I am very consistent in doing them, and I really want to try and make sure I get everything done that I can. So what have I been stitching on this week? Well, when you last saw me, I did a little bit more work on my human sal, but it was only another 138 stitches just to finish off before I came home from my retreat. So I'm not going to bother showing you that. But I did get a finish. So I worked on my shepherd's bush wandering shepherd, which previously looked like this here. And it now looks like this. So delicate. I really love these patterns. They are beautiful patterns. I don't love the early 1990s colour scheme, but the patterns themselves are truly exquisite. So I have no idea what I'm going to do with that, but it's a beautiful finish, and that's another one that I can mark off my list. I'm getting through them. It's very exciting. So that's what I did on Sunday when I got home. And then I worked on, I had to do 100 stitches for something. Sorry, I'm not sure what I did them for this week. But this one was the drawn thread, winter to spring. Really wanted to touch this one again. I remember now. I had to do 100 stitches on something to do with a book. And I was working on letters. Previously looked like this. Hasn't really changed much, but I have done some letters at the bottom. Now this one's really lovely and delicate as well. Look at the cute little needle minder I got from Louise. Thanks, Louise. Yeah, so I'd really like to knock this one over if I can make it fit any prompts. It just doesn't seem to really fit in with the style of the prompts much. So 100 stitches only on that one, but hey, that's better than none. I just want to try and keep it going. You can see I'm hopeful. I got new Q snaps. I think I told you that last week. So I've left quite a few kitted up on Q snaps. Now, my main project for the week was to fit in with the semi-sewn stitches to choose my whip. I put up my Painted Orphans versus my Fairy Tale Sal Princesses, and the voting was so close. It ended up only 2 people different. 2. And so I worked on my Fairy Tale Princesses. Previously looked like this, and now is progressing very nicely to look like this. Yeah, so there's the Fairy Tale Princesses. So we added Sleeping Beauty in the middle, and she took, well, all up, I did, what, about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah, just over 1,000 stitches I started on this one. This one's Gretel from Hansel and Gretel, and then I'm behind again. I've got down here is going to be the Snow Queen, but also she looks a lot like Elsa. Anyway, got that to do. So that's on my list to try and touch again. Again, this one really proves to me just how important fabric choice is. Because if you recall, this is the one I put myself back in kindergarten on my 14 count Aida. And it's that thick, crunchy Aida. And I just don't like it. And I think that's why I don't like stitching on the project. But I will finish it for my daughter. Gonna make it into a wall hanging for her room. But yeah, fabric choice, so important. So that was my main project for the week. The idea of the Choose Your Whip is that that's the project I had to work mainly on. So I didn't touch the other one at all, so I don't feel like I'm breaking any rules. I touched other projects, but that was for other homeworks. Can't let everything else go just because of one thing. Next one I worked on was my prompts. I had to do a lot of things to do with, dark homework. So that one, the fairy tale, was my 600 stitches for magical stitches. We had to choose if we were going to be a good witch or a dark witch. I'm a good witch, of course, being a Hufflepuff. So I stitched on that for my 600, and we had to do that first. The second thing we had to do is then the 400 stitches on the opposite path. And so the opposite path was the dark side of magic. And you had to stitch on a dark topic matter or dark threads or something. So I worked on my Spook Hollow, which previously looked like this, and now is progressing quite nicely to look like that. So I'm sort of 2/3 through the first month because I started it late, not really up to date with it. So that's really exciting. So that's my dark stitching. So I'm starting to get a bit more Halloween-y things happening. I don't do Halloween. I keep saying this, but all the Americans do, and so they keep putting prompts, so you sort of have to join them. So I did that one, 420 stitches on that for my dark homework. I also then came back to my fairy princesses because we had to do 200 stitches on something that sparkles, and they sparkle for me. So that was the one I chose for that. The next thing I worked on was actually then I finished homework, and I was, as usual, filling in a bit of time. So I decided to work on some month-long extra credit stuff for Year 6. And one of the prompts was 500 stitches on a pygmy puff, which is a fluffy pink thing, ferrety looking thing that Jenny has. Anyway, I had an idea for that, but then someone said you could just do a puffy dress. So I worked on Alice. So my Alice, if you look at her, how puffy is that dress? You cannot say there's not a pygmy puff in that dress somewhere. She's truly exquisite. Again, I'd like to thank Belinda Aussie Skitcher for the present of this one. Really, really enjoying it. It's made me like Mirabilis, so much so I've been buying all those others. So, she previously looked like this. And now, she's looking like this. So I was smart. I worked on the border mostly. I actually made a little mistake, but no one's going to care. So there she is. She's going to be absolutely stunning. Beautiful, beautiful stitching project, easy to do. And I'm enjoying the fabric I've got is actually an even weave, 32 count even weave from Sew It All in Australia. And I have to say that's my favourite plain fabric. So when I get some more money, I'll buy that. The next thing I worked on is a collaboration with Sammy J. Hi, Sammy. She started this wholesale for Christmas, and since we're both Christmas nuts, I decided to start it too. And so, got started on it. EJ from Sunshine Stitches is doing this one. She had a lovely little discount code that she got offered, lucky her. Anyway, she's doing it too, and I started this with Sammy about halfway through yesterday, and I have a snowman. See? And we're doing very, very different colours, same size. So I've already caught up to EJ. and I'm going to make this my 30-minute a day project for this week, so it will get done in no time. It comes out every 2 weeks, I believe. And then the last thing, just because I had a little bit of energy last night, not much, just a teensy-weensy little bit of energy, I decided to just work on something pretty much for the sake of working on it. I'm sure it'll fit in for something, but I'm not sure what yet. Anyway, I was working on my drawn thread sampler. It's beautiful, lots of different threads. I'd already done the cross stitching, and I won't show you previous because I didn't do much last night. I only did 93 stitches. So all I did last night was the Algerian eyes and the line of couching under the basket. So that's where that's up to. And I'm thinking I might work on that today. I'm running a virtual stitches event, Challenge Yourself. I find it a challenge stitching on things while I'm running an event. So I might work on that one. I'm not sure yet, I'll see. So that was all my stitching for the week. So pretty good, felt good with it. Definitely my sanity saving, and I had a really good night Thursday night. All the Aussies, almost all the Aussies, jumped onto virtual stitches and we had a good chat. Now, I also got some wonderful stitchy kindness from Aussie Stitcher, Belinda. She was cleaning out her stash and she thought of me, and she spoilt me totally rotten. So I'd like to share with you how wonderful she is. So the first thing she gave me was some Aida. She doesn't like Aida. This one is some 14 count Aida, and I've got this, I'm going to pass this on to Susie because Susie loves 14 count Aida. So Susie, there's some 14 count Aida coming your way, which you're most welcome to. She also went through her Aida because I quite like 16 and 18 count Aida. So I've got some black Aida. I've got some blue Aida, 2 different shades, hard to see. I've got an assortment of cream Aida. So just a whole odd hodgepodge. Some of it's a bit dirty, some of it's a bit clean. We'll work it out. I think most of it looks like it came out, some of it out of the kits and things, because she doesn't like stitching with the Aida. But what I'm most excited with is a whole stack of white Aida. And this whole stack, I should show you, including some humongous pieces. Look, how lucky am I? I'm going to practice dyeing. So I can come up with some different colours, because who wants that much white Aida? Nobody. But who wants some beautiful coloured dyed Aida? Me. So I'm going to practice doing some dyeing sometime in the upcoming weeks, maybe in the holidays. So watch this space to see what that turns out at. And finally, because, you know, as if that wasn't enough, she sent me some beautiful diamond painting kits, which you can see sitting there, for my children, because they both have autism and need to work on their fine motor skills, and that will be really good for them. The only thing is I'm not looking forward to the little dots getting all over the house, because my daughter's notorious for making a mess. But thank you, Belinda, so much for sharing the love with that, because I know my kids will get a lot out of it. And she also shared the stash, things she didn't want, and she sent me my first ever Joan Elliott, which is called The Reader. Isn't she beautiful? I'm thinking actually of doing her on a dark fabric, maybe like a navy or something. And because I also was talking to her and I was in need of some Krynic blending filament, she had some spare spools that she'd got, and so she very kindly sent me 2 spools of that. So that's for my South American angel. So thank you for that, Belinda. And then of course she couldn't just stop there. She sent me some fantastic hand-dyed fabrics. So this one is a 28 count Joblin, and it's called Sedona Sunset by stephsfabbies.com. Really nice sort of browny orange, deep rusty colour. Love it. This one is from someone different. Serafina Hand Dyed Fabrics by Laurie.com. and I think it's called, I'm not sure what it's called. I read it a few times. Carnival Cruise, I think. That's very fitting for me. I love my Carnival cruises. So it's beautiful. And that one feels like a linen. And then she sent me a third one, which is this beautiful sort of Joblin, again, dried thistle on the hand dyed by Stephanie. Steffi's Fabbies. And this one is going to be perfect for my Mirabilia Christmas lady. Isn't that just like a perfect match? I like the mottly effect. She looks so great in the picture there anyway on the yellow. So there's my fabric already for that. So thank you so much, Belinda. Really, really appreciate it. So that's basically what I've been up to stitching and my my Stitchy Kindness. I do have some exciting haul coming next week. I know it's on the way, which I'm really, really hoping is going to be the solution to my 25 count Aida issue. We'll watch this space for next week to see that. I'm looking forward to a whole day of stitching today. The family have gone for the day, so I have a few hours peace and quiet. I'm going to jump on Virtual Stitches and have a chat. And yeah, just head into a busy week and see what I can get done. Homework's been released for Cheryl's group. Magical Stitches gets released later on this afternoon. So I'll probably do my usual planning and get started on that. So yeah, there's lots of great stitchy times ahead, starting to make plans for next year. As you heard last video, lots of different sale ideas in the firing line. Yeah, don't know, so many things that just want to be stitched. But I do feel good because I am stitching them as well and getting finishes fairly consistently. I'm looking forward to joining Sammy J with her Finish the Stitch in December. It might even be November, December, I can't remember. So I'm looking forward to trying to knock over as many of those manias as possible. I went through them all last night to see what's still there, and there's a couple that have been a bit lonely, but a couple of them are just like the Mill Hill kits I picked just because they were a simple and easy thing to stitch on, so I'm not really fussed if I don't finish them anytime soon. And that is pretty much it. So thank you again for joining me. It's really heartwarming to know that people are enjoying watching and having listened to me chat, and I do try and keep things brief. So I am going to leave you for this beautiful day because there's stitching time to be had and I've got to upload this video. But please enjoy what you're doing, and if you do feel game enough, jump on and say good day sometime, because we really are quite a friendly bunch, I think. And all the best till next week. Bye.